Welcome back to Chat Room. Today we're talking about electric vehicles. Specifically, the Inflation Reduction Act just passed, and there were a lot of tax breaks for electric vehicles. And they're trying to essentially incentivize more consumers to go that route. So, John, I'm curious, kind of what are your thoughts as they are right now about where electric vehicles are at? And ultimately, would you consider buying one yourself right now?
I think electric cars are definitely for the future. I don't think like as a society we're in that era right now, but I'll definitely consider getting like a Tesla or electric Ford eventually, like in time. As of right now, I don't have like the proper tools, like a garage to charge it in, and there's not a lot of resources for like, me traveling, how many charging ports there are in the world. I just don't think it would be like beneficial for me, but I know a lot of like retired people and a lot of people that are like in the city where there's a lot of charging ports. I think they're pretty cool for them, but I just don't think for me personally, the tax break or any benefits would benefit me enough to get one right now.
Oh, totally understand. Yeah, for me, maybe my budget's just not typical of the average car buyer, as I'm just hoping to keep mine go as long as, I can. But I definitely, there's a lot of appeal for me. And I've only got one friend right now that owns any sort of electric vehicle. Do you know more people in your personal life that own electric vehicles?
I would say like 5% of the people I know have electric cars. So not a lot, no.
Okay. John says not a lot, but for those of you who don't know him personally, I feel like John knows everybody. So 5% to me actually sounds pretty big.
Right.
Well, it'll be interesting because, like you said, the future, and that's definitely what the incentives are about, is to get more people to buy them in the future. And this act just passed, and there's a number of kind of things within it, including a tax credit worth about $7,500 for buyers of new all-electric and hybrid plug-ins, and that's actually already existing, and that would be kind of extended through 2032. There'd also be a additional tax credits for used vehicles, and that would go to about $4,000. So there's some caveats though. The credit would be only for single tax filers with modified adjusted gross income. That'd be like below $150,000, which, $150,000 sounds like a lot to me. If you're married, that'd be $300,000, and if you're a head of household, that'd be $225,000. So yeah, a lot. Also there's some kind of like restrictions on the vehicles themselves. The used ones would need to be at least 2 model years old, and it's just kind of a lot of nuance there, but one that people would like, even if they're not necessarily into electric vehicles. They may, a lot of people want more manufacturing in America, and one essential qualification for the vehicles would be that the final assembly of the car would need to be in the United States. So, it's definitely something where they are pushing along with tax credits and that last inclusion of, finish the manufacturing here to incentivize more and more people to go electric. Would any of those, and I know there were a lot of numbers there, but were any of those enough to where you're like, okay, 4,000 off here, 7,000 off here. That would maybe make me, go that way.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, kind of before, like if my lifestyle and like the time period where I'm at in life was more welcoming as far as like having the resources and able to have electrical car and enjoy it, I could definitely see that being like a benefit for me. But I guess it's just blocking that out because I'm like, I don't even have a garage so
yeah,
to charge it. So I guess it's all like just going in one ear and going one out the other. But for people that are in that moment of life that could benefit them, I could definitely see where those numbers would be beneficial.
Yeah. So I should note all of that was from CNBC reporting on that. But we have an exciting local angle, and maybe this will change your mind yet again, John. So the Pulse is reporting that there's a federal Department of Transportation grant that is going to make Chattanooga a hotbed for electrical vehicle testing.
Really?
Yeah, so we're about to get $9.2 million in funding for a project that the city and then a scientist at UTC, where we both went, are coming together. So it's kind of like a private-public partnership, and they are getting a $4.5 million U.S. grant from the Department of Transportation, apparently the single largest for UTC history, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And additional 4.7 million from partners such as EPB and the government and UTC itself. And this is going to set up a whole network with more charging stations, more availability, and just so much more focus and clearly money on developing this infrastructure for electric vehicles in Chattanooga. So while, you may want your apartment or your house to have a charging station, it sounds like for us, we could have more available to us just on the way to work or while we're out getting one of the mini coffees.
Right.
We're going to get anything like that.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out, but I mean, that gets me kind of interested more into it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they don't have a timetable on this, or at least not one I saw. All of that obviously takes time. You don't just get money and then boom, problem solved.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I want to see what the future holds. And who knows, in a few years, maybe we'll have like a video of us testing our first electric vehicle.
I hope so.
That would be, for our budget, if nothing else.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. Well, if there's any more exciting news about electric vehicles, we haven't covered that a lot, but it's the wave of the future. You will hear about it here on Chat Room. Like, subscribe, and follow us.
Peace.